Hi, and welcome to the Lone Star Play Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Scott Armstrong. Lone Star Play Podcast is produced by Texas.
I didn't catch that. Try tapping above to edit.
Siri, nobody's talking to you. Gee, I'm so sorry that interrupted. Okay, so the Lone Star Play Podcast is produced by TexasRealFood.com. It is a comprehensive website directory where you can find all the latest, Texas restaurants, butcher shops, farmers markets, artisanal stuff, organic, all natural. Great place. Got videos, recipes. There's a blog. There's all kinds of resources on there. So great resource. Check it out. You can also check out the podcast on there, TexasRealFood.com/podcast. But you can also go to thelonestarplate.com. We'll take you there. We're also available on like Apple, Spotify, Stitcher. You can tell Alexa to play the Lone Star Plate podcast, and she'll do that. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so today I'm going to be checking in with Trevor. So Silent Trevor, who always helps out with the podcast and whatnot, I'll be checking in with him. We're just going to be kind of recapping things, the different guests we've had, that sort of stuff. Checking on Trevor, how he's doing through this whole quarantine. We can't do the podcast together. So, just see how he's doing and we'll get to it. All right. So without further ado, Silent Trevor. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh, dude, look at that background. What? Wait. You got to say something so that your screen comes up first. Like say something and then talk while you go down, because otherwise it won't pull your screen up. Does that make sense?
I don't even know how it works. I've
Right
never
there.
seen one.
When you talk, it takes over the main screen. When I talk, it takes over the main screen.
Oh, okay. All right. So check this out.
Yeah, dude, that is. Can I do I can do a background?
Yeah. I just signed up for it and I did that. I like my profile picture and then added that as a joke.
So are you green screen?
No, that's a white wall behind me.
I love it. In your headphones, you can see the white wall. Like, I love it, dude.
Like right in
Yeah.
here. Yeah. It's like
Dude, that's
shitty
so
green
cool.
screen.
For y'all listening, so what we're doing a Zoom, interview, obviously, but Trevor's got, cool background with his, I don't know, what is that? Is this some new album cover thing you got going? What is this?
No,
thing
that's
behind you?
this is from my cartoon.
Okay, I haven't seen this whole image. I've seen all those pieces individually and different things you've done, but I haven't seen that particular image. It looks really, really good, guys. So if you're listening to it, go to YouTube and just check out in the first few minutes. See this image; it's badass. I love it, dude. Especially with the tiger or lions on the side. Well, if they were tigers,
Yeah,
Tiger King, baby, Tiger King. No, it looks great, dude. That guy over here, over your right shoulder, stage left.
So I'm not mirrored on mine.
So you're right. Your actual right shoulder, I think. That shoulder. Yep. The guy right there. He looks like Benicio del Toro in The Usual Suspects.
This guy right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an old bandmate of mine.
Yeah, looks like Benicio. Love it.
I drew that picture of him and sent it to him, and he said, "Is this a biracial version of me?"
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't look right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
it is.
It is. So, I kind of did a little introduction, dude. Just letting people know we're just kind of catching up on things. First of all, you always help with you've with the podcast and obviously with the quarantine, we're fucking separated by not many miles, to be honest with you. But of course, we're all locked in our homes, and we haven't been able to do the podcast. So I thought, this is a great idea to check in with Trevor and see what's up, talk about, different things that are going on, and just recap stuff that we've been, talking about on the website. Don't want people to, on the website, on the podcast, don't want people to forget, some of the stuff that's come up. And also I want to clear up a few things. I got in some trouble on social media this past week, and I want to kind of go over that, basically like what the meaning of local is. I want to go over that. Also want to talk about like delivery apps and the percentages they charge, and if people really know, you're going to be a great person to talk to this about. So I'm curious what your thought about all that is. Anyway, and then also something we talked about earlier, dude. SEO marketing, some of these companies that are, they're going to have to pivot and start doing some different things. Are they doing it? And if they're not, how can they go about it, and what should they be doing? Maybe not specifically, but who can they talk to, or should they be doing it? That sort of thing. And also, I've actually got some grapes, dude. I'm all over the place here, dog. Today.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm on. No, I'm not. I mean, I've got some strawberries. These strawberries, Texas strawberries, that I got in my farm to table farm box this week. They are delicious, dude. Like, no joke. Everything I got, I haven't tried everything, but the strawberries I already tried. They sent me some little oranges, delicious. And you know what, dude? I'm about to try for the very first time ever kombucha. Oh, have you ever tried kombucha before?
Mm-hmm.
I've
Yeah.
never tried it, so I'm gonna try kombucha for the first. I got this in the farm to table box too. It's called K Tonic, bottled, made here in Austin locally, and it's kombucha, single fermentation, cherry blossom. I never tried it because I always thought it's alive. I don't generally eat things that like are gonna be still moving around in my stomach, and just the way people described it, and I don't know. I just thought that doesn't sound like something for me, but everybody talks about it. I got 4 bottles in the fridge. I better fucking drink this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's give it a go here, dude. It's carbonated.
Yeah, they build up like a little bit of pressure in the bottle.
Okay. That smells.
It's got some stink to it.
It smells like vinegar. It smells like vinegar.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like apple cider vinegar.
okay, yeah, man, that's what it smells like here. All right, let's give it a go. That's delicious. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, that's not what I thought it was going to be. That's good. I don't feel anything moving around like alien style yet in my tummy. But we've just begun. So yeah, that's not very intense. Low sugar, no added juice. K-tonic. Check it out. Okay, delicious.
So I know I'm the tech guy usually, but how does it
Yeah.
work? Like when I talk, I get big.
Totally. How am I explaining this to you? I mean, how does what work? I don't know, dude.
You said it goes full screen if I talk. So am I not visible unless I'm speaking?
No, there's a little box to the side where we have 2 little images, like, or
so
actually,
wait, I can see this.
Wait. You know what? I don't know. Let me show
This is
small
a new
active
portion of the podcast.
Let's just try that. Let me see what this does. Mute. I can mute you if I want, motherfucker. Okay. Let me see here. I could put you in the waiting room. Pin video. Let me see. Does that makes? Do you see yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You're full screen, right? So I think I just made you full screen no matter what.
No, so like on mine, you're full screen and I have a tiny little window.
Even when I'm talking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know exactly what's gallery view. Oh, dude, I didn't even know this was here. We're gonna try it like this for a little bit. I wonder if it's recording like this.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's like a multicam. So the one that's highlighted. This is really interesting for anyone who's watching. Or
I wonder what's happening.
Well, yeah. So when you talk or when I talk, it highlights me, which means it's selecting my shot.
You think so? You think that's what's happening?
Yeah. I mean, because look at our audio signals versus where it's highlighted.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I love it. I wonder if I could just leave it like this. This is kind of cooler, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why you can't leave it like that.
I wonder security. Let me see here.
You have notes and stuff, right? We're going to talk about something.
Yeah, let's just, for next time, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm gonna leave it like
This is what
this.
people tune in for.
Do you like this better?
Nothing changed for me.
Oh,
It's only on your end.
For me, I see us both now.
Yeah, no, I clicked over to that view and then I changed it back because
Oh,
it feels like I'm watching myself. I had to move my own picture below the camera, so when I'm staring at myself, it looks like I'm making eye contact.
I'm gonna leave it like this in case it's recording like this.
Okay.
Because if it is, that's that's cool. I'm cool with that. I'm kind of wondering. I'm wondering if. Let me see something here. Automatically. I just gotta check something real quick, guys. Spotlight my video. Let's take that off. Let's see if that changed anything. Did that change anything? You talk.
It didn't change anything visibly for me.
I took it off. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so you know what? I don't even care. We're recording.
Yeah.
It's going. I like this double screen. I don't mind looking at myself. So, what's up, homie?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I look like I don't know who to look at. If I
should.
Put it on. I can see the reaction from the latency in my eyes when it cuts back to me, which makes me feel crazy because it looks like my eyes.
Dude, I feel like I'm talking to John Lennon in the future right now.
Oh, okay.
That's what
Yeah.
That's what's happening. And you've got this crazy what was that Sergeant Pepper album behind you?
Yeah.
I got
this is actually this whole background.
Yeah.
I hope that people can actually see this. Maybe it's just me and you that see it. This whole background was actually a rejected video idea. It was a dance floor. I kept it for my own cartoon. And these are just characters that have been added in over the years. I
love it. It's great. I would totally dance in there.
Yeah, if you go to my website or any of my Instagram, it's on there.
You'll see it on there. It's an awesome graphic and picture and everything. Okay, yes, I do have notes that I don't want to talk about. So this is what happened to me this week, dude. I got in trouble. What I thought was being supportive turned out that maybe some people didn't think it was supportive. So I basically put in this group for like delivery and takeout, basically for stuff that's still open during the lockdown, right? Restaurants and stuff that's still open, and you can go in there and post, hey, go eat here, go eat there, whatever. So I made a post just like, hey guys, let's please support the local small businesses, like not the chains. Like I saw somebody go to Texas Roadhouse, like can we please not, whatever. Hashtag support local. Okay, that did not go over well. A few people were like, yeah, and then it became, what's wrong with McDonald's and what's wrong with going to Texas Roadhouse and what's wrong with this and what's wrong with that? And I'm like, oh my God, like, it didn't go over well. People were actually pretty like angry, and they ended up like first like the group, which has like over 10,000 members. So I just got demolished in there, but they like, some people loved it. It was divided. That's what it was. You either loved it or hated it. So some people were like, yes. Other people were like, you asshole. There's still people that work there. They're local. Excuse me. Oh my God, I got the virus. I don't. And basically, I just wanted to clear that up because I put it on my own Facebook page and I got nothing but love and likes and everyone saying yes, 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 because that's the bubble I live in. I live in the bubble of small business and restaurants and people supporting that type of stuff. I don't, my bubble isn't like people that own McDonald's and Taco Bell's. And I get that they're franchised and that they're local, but so this is what I want to clear up. This is what I meant by support local, because I guess it meant local meant something different to everybody. So what I mean by local is, a local restaurant that is, say for instance, perfect example was me. I owned a food truck, a food establishment. It was local, right? I started here in Austin. I create all the recipes, with the team, right? With my team, we come up with stuff, we put it out, we do our marketing, we're fully, it's us, we're the small business, we're the people working and putting out the stuff and creating the food for you and giving it to you, the best, freshest food we can get. And we don't have a big name behind us. I don't have a big backing behind us. I don't have hundreds of billions of dollars of marketing across the world backing me up. I get that it's just a franchise, but you bought into this conglomerate of a business, right? So it's not the same to me to say support this local McDonald's. I will never say a McDonald's is local. I just won't. How is McDonald's local? It's everywhere. That's not local. I can get that anywhere. That's not what local means. Local is it's the local food, the shit that's from here. Like we live here, we make this food. This is what it's for. It
Were
doesn't
these people
necessarily mean
from
like
Austin?
Texas food. Yeah, these were people from Austin. Basically, it was
Oh,
people
wow.
like that knew franchise owners, and they were like, "Hey, I know." And then a couple people worked for McDonald's, and they
Mhm.
fucking blew up at me. Like this is wrong. McDonald's helps people and does this and that. And my whole point is, okay, if you buy a McDonald's, do you buy a McDonald's because you love good food and healthy food, or do you buy McDonald's because you think it'll make you money? Everyone buys a McDonald's because it'll make them
Good
money.
food.
Yeah.
The same page, yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit! I wish that was the case. If you ever did meet somebody, yeah, I just good food, organic food. I'm gonna buy a McDonald's. And the key is you have to buy multiple. If you've ever really talked to business people, you don't just buy one franchise. You have to have multiple to start actually making money. But the key is you are trying to make money. You're
Mhm.
not trying to serve healthy, fresh food. Okay, so that's why you have a McDonald's. So I'm not just not going to defend it. You could easily open up another business and serve fresh food and give that to people, but instead you choose to buy this food and keep it going. Like
Mhm.
we need less of that. So I get that local people work there and whatnot, but those chains are going to be fine. They have too much money behind them. They have all this stuff. So I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put any of those businesses down. Or if you own a Taco Bell or a Jack in the Box or whatever franchise place, you bought it because you wanted to make money. And I get you need to make money, but that was all you thought about. You weren't thinking about serving good food, because if you were thinking about serving good food, you wouldn't buy one of those places. That's not the kind of place that serves fresh. They're not known for fresh, good food. That's not even meat they serve at McDonald's and this stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They literally have to put real meat. That's an actual verb or adverb. I don't even know what that is. Real, real meat.
Adjective.
An adjective. I don't know. I didn't take math, but you don't have to put. You didn't have to use that word.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just a perfect example. We could watch Super Bite Me. Or what's the name of that movie? Super Size Me.
Supersize me, yeah.
Super Size Me. Dude, come on. So yeah, look,
Mhm.
I do mean support local small businesses that don't have a big conglomerate backing. People are going to go to McDonald's no matter what,
Mhm.
but people aren't going to go see Joe Schmo's whatever right now.
Taco Brother, yeah.
Yeah, Taco Brother, exactly. Like, dude, exactly, man. So these are the places we need to stick out for right now. Okay, I get that you still want to go to McDonald's instead of going 5 times a week. Just go once. They're
Mhm.
going to be fine. No, they're not. Nothing's going to happen to those people. I promise you. It's not about the employees. The employees can file for unemployment. They'll get their money. Don't worry about them. Worry about the owners. The owner's going to be fine if he has a McDonald's. They got other businesses. They're going to be fine. McDonald's is going to be fine.
Mhm.
But again, it's
That would be a
and they're
funny
getting the
premise for a
bailouts.
show, though,
What?
to have a McDonald's that's not doing so good, like, somehow you have the one McDonald's, the
That
people are like,
sucks. Yeah,
"Fuck that place, man."
that's
Uh,
funny.
yeah.
That's funny. So
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know.
know
What
anyone
do
that
you
would
think
think.
local? When I say local, what do you think? What does that make you think?
I think of, like, Bolden Creek, I think of, I don't know, Sawyer, like, places that have been here, like, Sawyer actually was one of the
Sawyer's
first
a
that came
good,
to
yeah.
mind because that used to be Arky's Diner, like, in the '50s, and then they bought it and kept it basically the same and just added, like, a sort of, like, Southern Louisiana style to the menu, but kept the original menu too. Like, they preserved the history.
Yeah.
So I think of a place like that because they already, like, changed and reduced their hours this last year, so they're not open as late, I feel like that's a place that takes a hit in a different way. Plus, it's, like, deep on one side of town, it's not really close to anything, so, like, you
Yeah.
gotta drive to be there or live on the east side,
Yeah.
but I think of that. I think of Taco Brother, the guys that are down the street from where we live.
Yeah.
Like I know the guys that work there because there's only two people and one of their sons. It's like I mean 3 people, but two main guys that run it, and I'm pretty sure they are brothers. So it's like that's their little trailer. I think of those guys because when I drove by and their trailer's not there, it's weird to see that. But also
Totally.
nobody's going out. Like they feed the whole neighborhood. Everyone knows them over here. But
Absolutely.
I would never think of a fucking McDonald's as a local anything, you
It's
know?
crazy. Support. It's like McDonald's support local. What? That's not.
Yeah, I mean, everyone you do have a local McDonald's, but that doesn't mean that it's like,
It's not
you
the
know
local play again, they've got this huge conglomerate behind him. I
Mhm,
get that you own that one McDonald's, you franchised
yeah.
it out. I
Or
get that.
places like, Magnolia. It's on, Congress, like South
Yeah,
Congress, it's been
yeah,
there forever, everyone goes there, it's always
yeah.
open. That place is gonna probably be, I'm curious to see what classic restaurants will stay open once it all kinda blows over. I mean, especially just in Austin, but, um,
If you're not
yeah.
doing delivery or takeout well,
Mhm.
and you weren't doing okay or better before the virus, you're not gonna make it.
It's gonna be rough, yeah.
If
I
you
mean,
have a
there
very high labor cost too, like if you had a
Mhm,
ton of employee high la you're done. Yeah,
mhm.
or you pivoting and adapting and cutting and,
I think it
you
depends
know.
on the business because, like, if you look at places like, Leroy and Lewis, the
Yeah,
barbecue truck over
yeah,
there,
yeah,
like, we're friends with one of the people that works there, and early on, before they had done the full lockdown, they were doing call-in orders where they'd walk it out with a mask and gloves, like, they were one of the first people I saw that posted that.
yeah.
I think a lot of companies will adjust because the food trucks can get by, but places more like Magnolia or just like the older, more classic restaurants, uh, because I've seen like classic places in town close, like Cat's Deli was
Dude,
downsized
half of the
after one time.
restaurants in Texas have closed already. 50
Mhm,
almost 50% of the restaurants, full service restaurants, they're
mhm,
done. They're already done. So boom, 1 out of every 2 restaurants you see at this point is closed already.
mhm,
We lost half of the game. I mean, imagine that. Imagine an industry like that. Imagine the football league and before the season started, half of the teams were fucking eliminated.
right,
Or baseball league or basketball, you name it.
mhm,
Any industry, just imagine half of it being gone
mhm,
in a matter of weeks. Um, so yes, dude, and you would think that a lot of places would just pivot easily and do it, but it's not that simple.
yeah.
Um, you
Well,
know,
people are also scared to get food. Like, we
yeah,
haven't gotten takeout.
yeah.
It just
Some people
the
are for
risk
sure.
of encountering other people in general, like
What do you think? Let's talk about that. What is your biggest concern about getting takeout and delivery and or delivery? Like what are your biggest concerns?
takeout to me is a little different. For one, takeout depends on the food. Like, not talking about any of the virus. Some food is not good takeout. It'll be great on the table, but it doesn't travel well. So that drastically limits the options. Then there's the places that are left open. Of those places, would I want takeout? That's the first thing I think about. The second thing is like, I don't know what conditions they're working under because I would assume that because there are limited restaurants open, that the ones that are open are probably pretty busy because a lot of people don't cook. Like, that's the other thing is the younger generation that lives in town, I think a lot of them rely on Postmates and things like that. Um, I think you're just adding an element of risk. If say you get someone to do like Uber Eats or whatever service that you want to bring the food to, you're adding whoever prepped or whoever made the food, whoever put it in the container, whoever picked that container up, and then they're bringing it to your door. I don't really know. I mean, it's too many things for me to keep in the
Sure.
back of my head. Plus, like,
I
having
get
a
it.
kid makes it different. Like, I
I
worry
get it.
about that aspect, but we
Totally.
have like delivery groceries, but we can also disinfect all of it before. Like, we don't buy anything that's just like open that we can't
Sure.
clean. Any fruits and vegetables we clean in the sink with, like water and vinegar or whatever. But
Yeah.
we've been like super respectful of the lockdown just because of that. So I get why a lot of the businesses are open. In Austin, the to-go drinks I think is a good move because it's a city that likes to drink. So like I feel like they almost need it to purge a little tension.
Yeah.
Um, but
Yeah.
it's just added, elements of risk. Plus, like, you think of, like, say they do 50 takeout orders in one night. How many people are they encountering? And they become a hub of spreading, like, say that person's a dormant carrier or they're just not showing any signs yet.
Sure.
They're essentially a hub that's doling out tons
Yeah.
of virus,
I think
So
you're
that
bringing up something that the restaurant industry doesn't actually
doesn't
want
want
to
to, yeah,
face, which
yeah,
is the truth.
and probably doesn't want anyone to talk about. Like,
Well,
I wouldn't want people promoting like why my business wouldn't be a good idea
look,
right now.
but that's just how some people are feeling. So, that's regardless of whatever, dude. Your voice, what you're saying right now, a lot of people feel the exact same way,
Hmm.
um, and they have concerns about it, and they're valid concerns.
Hmm.
And I think it just comes down to it's the job of the restaurants and these places to educate the customer of why it can be okay and what steps could I take to eliminate some of these fears and concerns you had. And some of the things that I have seen that do I think could help some of this is they're provide some of the places, the really good places actually that you would think, oh, their takeout can't be very good. The
Hmm.
reason is because that, right? The food is just not transportable. It dies immediately and you can't, it's not going to be
Hmm.
good 30 minutes later. But what they're doing is sending you the stuff sort of par ready to go, you know what I mean? And
Right, right.
you cook it. You
Yeah.
bring it up, but they did all the prep for you. So you get to pop pop
Well,
pop and make
even
it.
the like drinks are going out that way too. Like
Yeah.
you were talking about the mini bottles and
Yeah,
all
you got to
that.
put the mini
Uh,
bottle in with it. So they have you do a little bit of work. Let's say Hop Dotty is offering hamburgers and fries and all this stuff, but it's raw. So you get the meat and you get everything, and you cook the burgers and you fry the fries. You
it's more
know,
like HelloFresh or one of those services.
yeah, you're getting the
Um,
stuff. That way you can maybe some of your concerns about how it was prepped, right, you can eliminate that.
sure.
You can then cook it and eliminate any viruses with the heat and everything.
Yeah.
You can also stick stuff in the oven when you get it if you want to sort of get rid of some stuff, warm it up again. I know it sort of eliminates it, but I
Yeah.
get a lot of those concerns, dude. To be frank with you, I really do. I will say this: every restaurant and place that I know about is is utilizing the best safety
Hmm.
that they can in this now. But at the same time, you're right, the risk is still there regardless
I
if they're
I
taking
always
the
think of
risk.
like the staff that I had worked with when I was managing any place or
Yeah,
like any place I worked in. There's always someone who would
always a couple
not do
douchebags.
something right. Yeah, I had a guy that wouldn't wear gloves. Wouldn't I mean, he washed his hands, but he wouldn't wear gloves, and all of the rest of the staff would. So it kind
Yeah.
of stood out.
Well, right now, dude, there's always limited staff at all these places. I guarantee you they eliminate somebody like that.
Hmm.
Right. There no bullshit right now from any restaurants. They're
Hmm.
normally you have to allow a couple of you wanted to use a word that I can't use, but a couple of,
Hmm.
people that you don't normally want on your staff. You kind of keep them going. Okay, they're on the schedule,
Hmm.
whatever. Right now, are you kidding me? If you're not doing a phenomenal job and following all the procedures and protocol,
Hmm.
you're gone.
Well, a lot of
There's
the
no way.
places are furloughing staff, so I think that they
Yes.
can pick and choose
Yes.
between
Yeah.
who they actually want working.
Absolutely,
For
dude.
us, we just don't. It's an
Yeah.
added risk that we
I
have to
get
take
it. Some of
care of.
those workers don't want to be doing it either, dude. So
Hmm.
the fear that you have, they have that same fear of like, I don't want to be here working, serving
Hmm.
you food. Why am I essential? I'm expendable. That's what's
Hmm.
happening. What? Just so you can get a fucking burger and fries, I gotta come to work? Like
Hmm.
that's a bullshit. Like it's not like health services, like
Right, right.
we can get by without it. But again, it's just part of some economy thing that like we gotta keep the economy going. So some
I think also
sacrifices
like
get made.
you already have a huge influx of people trying to get into the grocery store with the 6 foot distance or the 2 meters. You have that. So if you took
That's
away
true.
the restaurants that are still open, then the people who rely on food, like uh, takeout food in general, one meal a day or whatever, then you're going to have that added weight to the
That's
grocery
true.
lines.
That's
So I
true.
think it's a disbursement of like congestion and
Sure.
I don't know. I mean, w- personally, I haven't felt any of that. I mean, I'm fortunate to kind of fall between the cracks on it where I'm able to just kind of stay at home and be pretty remote. So I also don't have much perspective firsthand on it. And I haven't worked behind any bar or restaurant, in
Yeah.
over 2 years. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty removed from it, but
Yeah.
I do like I did look at some of the old shops that I worked at. I checked like if they were staying open during, some of the early stuff, and a lot of them were trying to power through because they're small places. So I don't envy that stress because I know that feeling if I were, still there managing or even just working, I would feel pretty heavy going into work in general. But
Oh yeah. Well,
I'm
some people are
not.
like, I'm just going to ride this unemployment out.
Mhm.
Why go risk my life,
Mhm.
for this? And I totally understand all those concerns. I understand everybody's concern from every angle. It's like, I get it. Everybody's trying to. The business owner wants to stay, doesn't want to go under,
Mhm.
but at the same time
So
wants to save lives. It's like, what a horrible choice to
with
make.
with all the podcasts you've done on lockdown, how many of them have been about this? All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
All of them?
About the
Yeah.
virus and yeah, absolutely, all of them. All of them
We should change the subject. Should move
have been.
past it.
I mean, it just everybody's got a different story to tell about what's happening to them, and
Mhm.
what whatever they're doing. That's just
Mhm.
what it is. And everyone's taking it differently. Everyone's dealing with it differently. Different companies are dealing with it differently.
Mhm.
So yeah, but this is definitely something else very important. I do want to bring up. So we're sort of in the same area here. The
Mhm.
delivery apps.
Okay.
So let's say you are going to order food. Let's say you're like, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger tonight. I feel okay. I've looked them up online. I see other people commenting like that. They feel that it's safe and clean. Okay, I like this place. Let me try it out. So there's a lot of delivery apps, right? You got Grubhub, Uber Eats, Favor,
Favorite.
DoorDash,
Shipped.
Shipped, Postal Mates, or something. You can, there's lots of stuff. So the thing is that everyone's realizing now, that I've been screaming for years, since Boca, that a lot of us were, is that these places literally bend you over and give it to you raw. That came out. That's just how it is. Yeah, it came out.
Mhm.
That sounds wrong, right? Imagine getting it like that, okay,
Mhm.
over and over, because that's what they do. They take 25 to 33% of each
Mhm.
transaction, dude. That's a lot. That's just from the restaurant. On top of that, they charge the consumer a delivery fee of $6.95. You,
Mhm.
as a consumer, think, oh, that must be what goes to the restaurant. Nope. None of that goes to the restaurant. The the company takes it out of the food price.
Mhm.
So they're getting it from both sides. See, that it's like you're getting the worst part of that orgy. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? The part we're underneath the table. You know what I mean? Not good. Not where you want to be. So we're the cup in Two Girls. It's
Mhm.
not good. And dude, the best way around it is to call
That's
the
such an
rest.
old reference. Those are so old. No one is gonna get that. The
Good.
demographic
That's
that this hits,
much
people are gonna be like,
better. You
"Sup,
know what?
two
Good.
girls."
Don't Google Two Girls,
Don't
One
Google
Cup.
that.
Do
Yeah,
not Google that.
yeah.
Please. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Um, so Google Two Girls, One Jar.
One plate.
There you go. Two girls, one plate. Oh shit. Exactly. So look, my point is, call the business and see if they have a delivery themselves, or
Mhm.
go pick it up, or use Favor is probably the best one. They take the least amount of percentage from the place of business, which is
Mhm.
about 15%. That's the least. That's half of what the other
So
places take, and they
for
don't charge a delivery fee. I don't think. I'm not sure.
for groceries, we use Shipped,
Yeah.
and we typically because you can. I don't handle any of
Groceries, I
those.
don't know. I
Yeah,
just know
Shipped
the
has been our best
restaurants.
one so far.
Yeah.
But we do a hefty tip because it's a pain in the ass because they're going to wait in line
Oh,
for
for
us at the
sure.
store. But I do think that it's actually safer to use those companies because they communicate with you. They make them keep their distance in the store. They're all required
Sure.
to wear masks and gloves. So it's kind of a guarantee of like as much care as you can take, and still be respectful of it. But of like
Maybe
the
that's a
stay-at-home
plus.
thing.
I mean, that could be a plus side to it, but I'll tell you right now, no restaurant likes using it. Remember, I used to say that with Boca?
Totally. Yeah.
Nobody likes using those services. There's
Yeah.
not one business you're going to ask, hey, do you like using Uber Eats? they're going to say, hell no.
Yeah.
But we have to. It's
Well,
because
even
people
before
know it.
the lockdown, like, I
And
mean,
even right now, they're not even cutting them a break.
right.
It's
It's just business as usual.
dude,
Yeah.
they're just, and if you go to their site, they make it seem like they're doing everything for the small business they can. They're
Mhm.
not. They're lying to you. The only people that locally that I know are doing something, DoorDash and Favor. They're the
Mhm.
only people waiving some sort of fees and doing stuff and helping. That's
Mhm.
it. So, but a lot of the restaurants are doing delivery on their own, dude, right now. So I don't mean forever. I just
Mhm.
mean right now. Temporarily, right now, call the place. I guarantee you that delivery driver will be safer and cleaner than the Uber Eats thing.
Mhm.
I don't trust a lot of those drivers. I've met a ton of them. I've seen them. They've walked up. They don't know cleanliness and because they're not from the restaurant industry.
Mhm.
You know what they're doing in their car? Smoking, drinking, you know, whatever's going on over there, on their way to bring you your fucking Monte Cristo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And next thing you know,
Who makes Monte Cristos
hey,
anymore?
that ain't powdered sugar. That's all I'm saying.
Right. You know, in high school, I worked at Albertsons. This is one of my favorite experiences in life. Worked at Albertsons as like a carry out, like helping people with their groceries.
Yeah,
And
I
there
did
was
that. I did
this
that.
small family that owned Joe's Pizza in the same parking lot. So that's some of the best pizza in Abilene in West Texas. Uh, and I helped one of the guys carry all of his stuff out to his car, and he opened the trunk and there was white powder all over the trunk. And he looked at me and he just slammed the trunk and opened the back seat. And to this day, I mean, everyone in Abilene was addicted to their pizza and their calzones, So I like to this day, I wonder, like, did he have like a wild weekend, or was that a shitload of flour that spilled in his
Flour,
trunk?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
But
Or you
they were
never
like,
know.
he was a really giant Lithuanian dude, I mean, they had thick accents.
I don't know.
Um, I would still, even if it were the worst case scenario, I would eat there anytime I'm in town if it's still there. But white powder, yeah.
That's how they kept that place going. Joe's
Hmm.
Pizza, yeah, my ass. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I know it. I know what happens at Joe's Pizza.
Yeah.
Hmm. No, I mean, you know what I'm saying, dude? Like some of those drivers, dude, are you kidding me? They're ridiculous.
Hmm.
And look, there's some good drivers out there. I shouldn't be all encompassing. There's definitely some good, responsible Uber drivers, and to be honest with you, I know some service industry workers have gone to some of those jobs in this moment.
Hmm.
So there's some service industry folks that are doing that, and I'll always stick behind service industry. So I mean, look, there's some good and bad, but my thing is more just the percentage it takes from the restaurant.
Hmm.
They're already hurting, so you're just hurting them more by using these services when they'd gladly deliver it for you and keep all that money. And to be
Hmm.
honest, sometimes people will be like, "Hey, you know what? I went on Uber Eats and the price was more than it is regularly than whatever." You know what? Think about it. Why do they do
Right.
that? They raise the price because Uber takes so much
Right. Right. They have to
of each.
compensate for it.
They compensate. They raise the price, or they lower quantity. So
Right.
if you order from Uber Eats, you get a lesser this. But if you order from them, it's same price, right? But you get more whatever. They use less
Right.
product. That's a way around it too. I'm just telling you the secrets, the shit that happens. That's the truth.
Yeah.
So
I wonder how many
that's where
places are doing just like call in for picking up the
all
food.
of them,
Like that would
every
be
single
probably
one.
the most logical way for if I were worried about getting something, you eliminate one
Yes,
entire link of it.
every
The
single place is
restaurant gets
doing.
all the money. You can
Yeah,
tip accordingly.
you can tip accordingly.
Um,
Everybody's doing contactless pickup and curbside right now. So you
mhm.
can definitely call every single place directly, and you can pay for it. You can
Mhm.
everything, ahead of time. There's some really great local places that are just crushing it. I keep bringing up Peach Tortilla in a lot of these podcasts because they're crushing it, man.
Mhm.
That's if you want to know what to do as a local business, follow their model. That's exactly how you should be. They pivoted so well, man, and they're helping out so many people, and really a lot of businesses are, and a lot of businesses not only are they giving back to community, they're helping out people that lost jobs. So
Mhm.
you can go get free meals if you lost some jobs or groceries and stuff. I mean, it's amazing. I just love my industry so much, man. Sometimes I miss being in the foxhole, you know.
Mhm.
until you're in it, and then you're like, what was I thinking?
I feel the same way. Every time I'd have a coffee job, I would be like, "This is cool," and then like 3 days later, I'm like, "Fuck this! I want to
Yeah.
go back home." Like, I don't want to be up
Totally.
here. That
Yeah.
lady was just rude to me.
Yeah.
Like
I
it would
did.
take
I put
like
in
that
my
to
time. That's
happen.
how I
But
look at it. I put in my time. I could have put in more. I mean, my time is nothing compared to some people, but I,
never again for me.
yeah,
I feel like I dipped
I
my
probably
toe,
will.
hated it.
I
I
probably
feel like
will.
you're gonna go back to cooking. Like
Yeah,
you, it's too much like ingrained in you
I think I
to
will.
do
I
anything
actually
new.
would love to bartend again.
Hmm.
To be honest with you, I love bartending. I would love to get back to that. Just like if I could work somewhere like on a Friday, just a Friday or Saturday night shift
Hmm.
somewhere once a week, just a few hours, have fun. That stuff's fun, man. Bartending is fun. I do enjoy. It's really only fun when it's busy. When it's
Hmm.
slow, ugh, just kill
Yeah, it
yourself. Right?
depends on
It's
the
the
bar.
worst.
I mean, that's the real
Any place.
thing.
I just it cannot be slow. That's why I
Yep.
never worked at slow places. I always worked at places that were like we had a wait list and we got to wait and we got hottest
Hmm.
place in town. Blah blah blah. That's where I want to work because you're always busy and you're. I just like that. I like being busy. You
Hmm.
get out, you make more money, and you get out. Like time goes by quicker. I think that's
Right.
just what it was, and you're more proud of where you're working.
Yep.
You don't mind
Yep.
telling people where you work. I mean, who's like, like, I don't know. I've never been drinking wine with somebody. This sounds so pretentious what I'm about to say, but whatever. Like, I've never been drinking wine with somebody talking about food and all of a sudden be like, oh, where do you work at? Yep, McDonald's. No, it's never happened. Like
Hmm.
you don't, you know what I mean? They're gonna work somewhere because they love the food, right? You're into the food, you're into the wherever it is, and that's what you get into. And again, it circles back to nobody buys a McDonald's to serve good food. You buy McDonald's because cha-ching, you're thinking money. McDonald's brings in money, so I want the money. That's it. That's all they want. So whatever, man. Sorry, that has brought that back down. Anyway, let's talk about something you brought up to me earlier. We talked on the phone earlier, and you brought up something really good, really great point that I thought was like about marketing and SEO and
Oh yeah.
how companies are sort of adjusting to that. What do you think? Yeah, let's just you tell me about that.
Well, okay. So the reason I thought about it earlier is because I'm seeing more targeted ads in my
Like
feeds, not
your
just in
social
Instagram,
media, you mean? On your
all social media, yeah, but YouTube specifically and Instagram. But it's paid ads, and some of them are large companies, some of them are bands. It just depends. Uh, but it's almost like every other story. And I use Instagram for business. It's how I generate a lot of like people like getting music videos or whatever it is that we're
Yeah,
we're going to work on creatively. So I'm on it a lot, and I use it a lot. It's like ingrained now. It's like what 10 years that it's been around or something.
yeah.
So I'm always on it, and I see just the same few generated ads or the same style of them, and I'm noticing an influx of like traffic like that, where I think people are thinking it's a captive audience, so they're boosting all of the money that they're spending to get more bandwidth. Um,
Oh, I
so
see.
that mixed with like people who know how to use SEO, I'm curious with the market going how it's going to go, and like if they extend the social distancing and all of the isolation and quarantine, inevitably the economy is going to change, but what's going to dictate what people spend on things like that, I'm wondering how that's going to shift, especially for like a local company. Like if say a company can facilitate the needs of like a local Austinite or whatever city they're in, will the SEO be what dictates how people find things? Like that's what I'm curious about, because if you remember, like think about Instagram before the algorithm was really taking over. You saw things in the timeline, exactly in a timeline. If somebody posted it, you see it in the order that they post it. I don't think it was ever really quite like it is now. Now, if I click on like one thing and it's got a few hashtags in one category, I'll see nothing but promoted ads for that kind of a thing for a week. And so, like, with it being
You
that
think the
active,
virus, or you think all this is affecting that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because so many people are stuck at home. Think about just the creative industry.
So
So
you're
how
saying
many
people are just creating more ads than ever?
Right, because
I see. Yeah.
you can't go play a show. Your
Yeah.
show is the live stream at 8
I
PM on
see.
so and so's coffee
Yeah.
shop channel or whatever. So like a lot of people are being forced to use more of that. So you're still there's a pretty big space between people who know how to use SEO properly, which if people don't know what that is, it's what determines what pops up in a search engine when you type in
It
whatever
stands
it is.
for search engine optimization, I believe.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like essentially like if you're looking for pest control, it's going to generate the one that has the SEO work put into it.
Absolutely. I mean, and people, it's kind of probably kind of a lot of that stuff's back end stuff. So a lot of people probably had a hard time pivoting to get that done because then
Right.
all of a sudden you were just, it's like getting ambushed.
Right.
People just got, their businesses
Well,
just got ambushed, and some people reacted, well to
yeah.
SEO and marketing and, pivoting their business. And
Some
especially if you
people
pivoted, you needed to SEO and market differently
yeah,
and
some
better.
people are equipped to deal with it. What I'm curious about, even just locally in Austin, what influx will we see of that business? How will it change the market? Because some of the bigger companies can afford to throw a bunch of money at that, whether they're getting income that they don't right
McDonald's.
now. Yeah, exactly. Like franchises, stuff like that. But will, smaller places like the place that you told me about earlier, the farm to table company,
Yeah.
someone like that who could be delivering those door to door, like a farm box door to door, is that a company that's equipped with something like that? Do they have the bandwidth to throw money at that right now while they're probably like hurting financially?
Totally.
So that's
Absolutely
what I'm
right.
curious about. What will the fallout of that be, you know?
Yeah. A lot of it works on word of mouth. I mean, food is very much word of mouth too,
Mhm.
right? You're always asking your friends and this, that, where you eating, what's it, and
Mhm.
that's how things catch fire, as well. Of course, it gets press and this and that, but a lot of times it is kind of word of mouth. And I don't really know a lot of restaurants that focus on SEO and that stuff. I mean, you to ask any chef
Mhm.
or owner, they don't know what the hell's going on unless they hired a company. They
I
don't know
think
what
the
they're doing.
restaurants that have that locally are more places that have more money than they
Totally.
need going into the
Yeah.
business. They're
Yeah.
not someone who's like on a hope and a prayer that their business is going to make
Yeah.
that first year. It's someone who has a surplus of cash that can afford
They're
to put
probably
money.
doing some marketing though differently.
Mhm.
Like you said, the ads are going up, so they're doing more ads and some more sponsored
Mhm.
ads. And you're right, I do see some of that stuff for musicians and food
Mhm.
places. Right, those are the two places
Yeah, mostly restaurants. Bands are a
pushing.
big one. That's one that like it's almost annoying to me. Bands are going to start inundating people with
Yeah,
shit that they don't want to hear. I mean,
yeah,
that's sort of something that I'm curious about, like on a hopeful note. Once this all blows over, how many good albums and EPs and stuff are going to get released because so many people were forced to just be in their house.
and right. All
But
this
also,
emotional.
there's the
You know,
other side of that pendulum where it's all the bullshit that, whatever. I can't remember who said the quote, but they said everyone has a book in them. Most people, that's where it should stay. That's how
yeah,
I feel about a lot of these quarantine albums.
that's
Don't
funny.
just record it, keep it to yourself, like
Pocket, put it out there. It's your choice to scroll
put it
by
out there,
or
but
not
stop
listen.
paying for the ads so I stop seeing that shit in my
That
timeline.
may be true.
It
That's
that's
maybe
what
true.
on that level, just as someone who's done the paid ads for
Sure,
videos like
sure.
that,
I think
that's
we're
what I'm
going to see
curious
some
about.
good stuff come out of it. I think people are going to
Sure, sure.
you're going to be recording some cool
I'm
stuff, and
all I know everyone is bummed right now. I'm all for like Ready Player One 3D school and stuff. I would love to
that'd
have
be
like a
perfect right now.
treadmill and
Yeah.
like playing like first person shooter at nighttime, and using that shit for like homeschool during the day. Like this is what it looks like in the Pacific Ocean,
That would
and
be
this is your
awesome,
latitude
wouldn't
and
it?
longitude. Boom.
Yeah, that would
That's what
be
I want
cool.
is like a legitimate 3D experience that I can use as an educational platform. I'm
Yeah.
hoping stuff like that starts to come out because I know we'll flatten the curve by staying home, but in the numbers that we're seeing of cases that are confirmed, I think that it's going to be a lot longer that we're dealing with this than people are expecting.
Yeah.
So I think technology like that would be helpful rather than like looking at a computer screen and FaceTiming. That doesn't captivate anyone because you're not drawn into it. But if you put like goggles on or something where you're getting more of an interactive, like immersive experience, I think that would be cooler. And like think about an
We'll
education
be there.
program that works like a video game, like you can like pass or fail as you learn through it without necessarily
Did
needing
you
a
ever
person to
play
say this.
what was that game?
Myst,
No, there was a game when I was
Duke
a kid.
Nukem,
No.
Oregon Trail.
That's a good one for sure. Definitely
It's
played
just
that when I was a
every
kid.
game I can think of. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3.
No. In school, it was a school game. It was called Number Crunchers or something. You were this little purple monster, and it was like you had to do math. I remember I learned math so well because of this game at school. On the old Apple Macintoshes from the '80s, and I used to just play this number cruncher game where I don't know, something about it just like Oregon Trail. It was cool, but you learned. It was awesome.
We had Oregon Trail. Our computers at the school that I went to, where we had our first computers, they were so old they didn't have a mouse. It had like a scroll wheel and a button on the screen, like on the side of the screen, and so there were games that we played, but they were so,
Old school.
It was like not even a video game. You're reading like 4 slates and you push like 2 buttons.
That's how games were though, kind of back then. You were like just excited for a choice. It was just, I think that's how games became. I can interact with something I used to just see, so it just became simple. And now we're just so bored with
Well,
any
but think about like,
it's not
I
good
could
enough.
put together, just for my kid, I could put together a learning program if I had the means to pick what I wanted to teach her in one day and say, we have 2 hours that we're going to do. We're going to do it in 15-minute segments. Here's your spelling thing for the day, and like have like something where it's like a Wii controller with a goggles, and like,
dude, it's gonna get
that's
there.
what
Of
I'm
course.
hoping for. I hope that this creates like a spark in technology in that sense.
It always does. Business. I mean, there's opportunities as bad as things are going for a lot of people, and it is. There's a lot of startups that get going, innovations.
So I was thinking, because they were talking about doing like the UFC Fight Island thing.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. Imagine if they put the money and technology into having tons of cameras and just, capture around the octagon. And then you pay premium price to get a system where you like subscribe or whatever through whatever, company chose to do it, where that would project into your living room. Yeah. Imagine if you could.
It's going to happen, dude. They're going to have VR seats where you can purchase that perfect backstage, and the great thing about it is it's digital, so I can sell that seat 1,000,000 times. That's the beauty of it. Like, it's not like one person gets front row. Front row seats become everybody. Like, it almost become, what's the point of touring?
Yeah.
Maybe some bands are going to see that. You know what? We're going to start doing live streams.
Well, what I would think is
amazing,
that
like
a
pay-per-view
band could
style.
set up like an incredible stage, and then they play like in the round, and you sit in the center of it, or
why don't
wherever
bands
you
do
choose.
pay-per-view shit?
Something I've always wanted to do or have for like a baseball game is, say you want to watch the game from a certain vantage point. Now there's all the cheating scandals, so you couldn't get away with it. Like they would use it to cheat. But if you could choose how you want to watch within one channel, I want no commentary. I don't want the box to see where the pitch is falling. Like
that would be
I
cool.
think like completely, editable stuff. But I hope that right now, while everyone's kind of like, on lockdown, a lot of creative inspiration will happen, and that kind of stuff.
It will, dude. It's going to happen. It's already happening. I see things, people innovating like crazy. They just, yeah, dude. I see a lot of that, to be honest with you. It gives me hope. I mean, I'm hopeful. I'm just still sad about a lot of people that are suffering through it, but I'm super hopeful. So look, dude, let's I want to recap some of the stuff that's during the week here before we
What's our timeline? How long are we going today?
We're pretty much almost done here, dude.
Okay.
I keep these short. I don't do.
This is actually, I think I enjoyed this better than the studio. I'm in my own domain.
Well, you're rocking, you got a badass dance floor.
I've got this shit back here.
Yeah, you got an awesome dance floor. Probably a cool bartender back there that we can't see. He's off screen.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's see here. I do like being at home through all that. I mean, that is nice. But okay, so Farm to Table. We talked about them. I have my strawberries, my kombucha. Yes, check them out, guys. Remember Sam Lash came on, and again, he co-founded the company 10 years ago, and they almost lost it over one weekend. So definitely support them when you can. The farm box I got was awesome. You can check it out and get one delivered straight to your home. This is product you couldn't even get before, and this went to the best restaurants in all of Texas. They delivered to Houston, Austin, Dallas, to the best restaurants. You name it. The Uchis, the this, the that, the Olamays, the Emmer and Rise. They deliver it to them. So they have all the connections to all the farms, and you can get some really cool customizable farm boxes. So you can get like a standard box and then sort of add on to it, with a bunch of really cool stuff. And again, it's all local, all Texas made. So it's a domino effect of support locally, to buy from them. So yeah, farmtotabletx.com. Really, really cool. Price wise, I think it's like $100, but it's a lot of stuff. Like you get a lot of stuff and it's all fresh. Oh, the Marks for Life TX, dude. That's super important. So that's the cocktails to go that instead it's to eliminate the small bottles so that bars can start using their regular inventory that they have of all their liquors. You've been to a bar, dude. You know how they display all the liquor. That's their whole thing, right? Well, they can't use any of that liquor right now. No bar or restaurant can use any of that liquor or beer that they got in kegs or any. It's all just going bad and they got to throw it away. So there's the Marks for Life TX. Kareem Hajar, he's leading that, lawyer here locally. So he's trying to get owners behind it and get them to pass a law like so many other states do. Just this past week, since our interview, a few more states have passed it and are allowing it. So Texas, it's like crazy how we're behind on this. So yeah, that would definitely. I mean, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars of tax revenue, could be in the billions actually. So that's even that they're missing out, that Texas is missing out on. Anyway, so check that out. And also live streams, dude. We've been talking about this. I don't know if you've been watching any sort of musical live streams, but Ray Prim is doing a really cool one where he's not even performing. What I like about his is, and they're only 15 minutes long, but he promotes a local artist. So Monday through Friday, he picks 5 new artists every week. Boom, check out this dude. Here's a couple songs from him, and it's turning me on to all this cool new music. So it's really cool. That one I like a lot because it's short, sweet. I can replay it whenever. There's not a lot of BS to it. It's actually very smart and it's really good. It's actually how I got Joe James on the podcast. He was our most recent podcast, dude, and his stuff is awesome. Trevor, you have got to check out his music, dude. Blues, just super great. Great guitarist. He's got a song right now. It's in the top 10 on iTunes blues chart, dude. Love Right Now. So good. I bought it. I haven't bought a song on iTunes in a long time, dude. And I went and bought that song because it was awesome. I must have listened to that thing so many times. Like I'm hooked on it. It's kind of just like one of those songs where it's just got a great hook and I'm so into it. So check that out. Check Joe James out. He was on the
you should put a link
cool.
to that song in the
definitely. There'll be a link in there to buy the song. It's called Love Right Now. It's so good. He was on The Voice. He tried out for The Voice. He's super cool. Just a great guy. Definitely support him. And yeah, that song, Love Right Now. So I don't know. Any live streams you like? Anything? What about your band? Are you guys not going to do any sort of live stream or nothing?
Well, like the way that it works, I only really play drums for the live stuff. So if we don't play shows, there's not much I can do. I mean, I make videos here and there to kind of get the word out, but
what's that acapella app I've been hearing about where bands
are, maybe
that's
I'd even suggest, because like when we heard that because we only had one show at South by that was going to happen, and when I heard that they were going to shut that down, I had suggested doing like a live stream that we would also simultaneously film with my larger format camera. I do like a produced version of it later on, and then like the day after I suggested that, they were doing the stay-at-home ordinance and all that. So like the band is Buffalo Hunt. She and her fiance did like a live version of a couple songs that they posted on like Instagram TV.
But as a band, like together.
Yeah, I mean, we only played one show.
Yeah, I know, but still,
so it's one of those things. Like I feel like as far as bands losing out on stuff like that, that there's quite a few out there that had shows and tours booked. There's people that are,
Totally.
like my brother had a tour that they were in the middle of booking, and it was,
I mean, all tours, everything's canceled, dude.
it's
It's
totally
like
shut down. Yeah.
everything's canceled.
From a band perspective, I think like some people will thrive during this, and some people will, wither a little bit.
Yeah, some
Like
bands,
musically
just
speaking,
like
like
anything, right? Yeah.
if you can play a song with an acoustic and capture people's attention, that's cool.
Yeah,
But
that's really good right now. The singer songwriter.
I've been watching Dylan LeBlanc. He does
Yeah.
live videos every few days. Just a good singer songwriter, another Louisiana guy. But I've been watching his. I mean, I'm trying to think of actual live streams. John Hodgman has one that I watch. It's called Get Your Pets.
Okay.
And he just invites people to chat with him. Like they share the screen on Instagram Live, and they introduce their pets to him and anyone who's watching. That's usually like 2 to 4 almost every day right now.
Okay.
But
All
you
right.
kind of see like every random person's setup.
I would check. Just check your whoever your bands are. Are they doing any live streams? And check them out. Again, if you can, support your local artist. Look, the big bands, they got royalties coming. They got this. Look, are they going to be making as much money? No, but they'll be fine. They're going to be able to pay their rent. Maybe some of these other artists, they need it more right now than, again, the big chains. I hate to say it, but even these big artists, I consider them big chains in this analogy right now. So try to support the Buffalo Hunts and the Joe Jameses and the Ray Prims and all these people. They're the people to more support. Than Pearl Jam right now.
I think
no offense, but
a lot of stuff that's good about that is the amount of music that people are doing and releasing in the midst
keep
of
it
this,
coming. Keep it coming. Food,
And-
people are cooking at home more, dude. So people are cooking. Eat healthy, listen to this new food. Take advantage, right? This time, use the time wisely, read books, be creative like you're doing. You're taking advantage of a lot of this time. So I think that's just basically what people need to do, man. Just take advantage of this time. Try to eat some good stuff. I mean, we're going to look back on this time and what did you do during it? Did you did you learn Kung Fu or did you gain 20 pounds?
From TV, yeah.
I'd rather learn Kung Fu. I'm not there yet, but
yeah, I'd rather watch Kung Fu. The legend continues.
I'd rather watch it too, but I'm just saying you could come out with a black belt or a bigger belt.
Well, so like I'm a few songs into what's going to be, I think, like an EP, like a few covers, a few originals. So maybe like when I finish that after the Soul blows over, I'll come back on and we'll talk about,
of course,
that or something.
Absolutely.
But yeah,
well, we'll be back eventually.
Like in the downtime to rest. I mean, like how often do people are they ordered to be home? Like,
sure. Yeah, rest.
Control over so much. So
absolutely, get your rest, drink your water,
exercise,
wash your hands, exercise. Yeah, good point. Exercise, wash your hands. All that sort of stuff. So look, before we go, I'm gonna bring Rocket up here. I want people to see Rocket just because everyone else has been introducing their dogs. Rocket, I'm gonna bring him. Let's see if he comes over here. I left my door open. Now, the day that I leave my door open so they come hang out with me, they don't want to fucking have anything to do with me. The other times, they're literally crying at the door. Rocket, back.
Oh. Where are you filming right now?
I'm in one of my bedrooms that I completely took over, the back room by my room, by my bedroom. So that back room.
All the people that watch this normally know where your room is.
Yeah, exactly. They have no idea. Look, I'm in a room in my house. Rocket, ven aquí. My other dog, my smallest dog is here, but my bigger dog, he is a lazy ass, and I guarantee he just doesn't want to get up. But this is Rocket. Rocket, ven aquí, sube. Let's see if we can see him. Oh, there's his little head.
Little head, yeah. Little peanut.
Let's get him up here. Oh, Rocket. This is Rocket. He's from Spain. Brought him over in 2012. He's quarantined with me. So he's loving it, I think. Say something, Rocket. Diles algo. He speaks Spanish. He's not bilingual, a little bit bilingual, but he's a cutie pie. Oh, okay, Rocket. He just will sit. He was sitting by me for the podcast the whole time. He's my little warrior. Mac, dude. My other dog. Again, lazy ass. He won't even come in here, say hello, do nothing. So forget him. Yeah, whatever, dude. That's it, dude. That's the show. It's the Lone Star Plate podcast. Find Trevor on Instagram. You can see all those cool pictures like that are behind him on his backdrop. Find the podcast, thelonestarplate.com. Hear this episode, watch it on YouTube, all that sort of stuff. Email me
Buy local.
if you want to get together. I mean, not get together, ask me a question or something. Email me if you want to get together. Do not do that. That's not what I meant. Patrick at Texas Real Food. I mean, I guess if you're cool, we could. Not now, obviously. There would be a distant. So I've given up. I give up, dude.
You need notes.
I need notes.
Lost.
We're not lost. This is just how the PAT rolls.
Just fade this out. It's like the end of every good.
This is exactly just getting faded out right now. Yeah. So tune in next time, guys. We'll see you next time, next week on Monday. Quarantine life. #we out.